So welcome, my name is Matt Fash with the United States Navy Memorial. How you doing?
Fine, Matt. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good.
Can you please have your name and rank for me?
Yes, my name is Ken Brock. I'm Machinist Mate Refrigeration First Class.
Fantastic. And sir, if you could just bring us from the beginning, when you first joined the Navy.
Okay.
Okay.
I went to boot camp January 1st of 1943 in Great Lakes, Illinois. I went there and I went through Machinist Mate School, boot camp, Machinist Mate School, and they sent me to an advanced school in York, Pennsylvania for air conditioning and refrigeration.
Okay.
From there, I was transferred to the Hornet in October of 1943 as part of the ship's company.
Okay.
They gave me charge of the pilot ready rooms on the Hornet, where the pilots are briefed before they go on strike.
Okay.
These rooms are air conditioned. It was my job to maintain the correct temperature and everything on the briefings. And I would be able to sit in on the briefings to see how everything was going.
Oh, really? Wow.
So it was very nice. And my compartment that I had my air conditioning equipment in was adjacent to the briefing room. So it was real easy to go from my compartment into theirs. And so there, when I went aboard ship in November of '43, I'm a plank owner on the Hornet. She was commissioned November the 29th, 1943 by Secretary Knox. We went on a shakedown cruise in Cape Hatteras off the coast of Virginia. There we went through the Panama Canal and went into San Diego, picked up our air group. From there we went to Hawaii, loaded up, and went to the South Pacific. We were out there actually 18 months in fighting the Japanese, and we were very fortunate, didn't take a direct hit. And in July of '45, we were involved in a typhoon after many engagements with the enemy, and as a consequence, the typhoon took our bow and bent it downward.
Oh, really?
And we had to launch our planes, we had to back into the wind. So we were the only ship we ever had that ever took the planes off backwards.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of interesting. We were lucky enough, I guess, to stay from being hit major. And then this typhoon, what the Japs couldn't do, the typhoon, Mother Nature did. As a consequence of that, they ordered us back to the States to Hunters Point in California for repairs. I was able to go home on leave, got married at the time when I was on leave, and came back to the ship for 1 month, and I was discharged and came back home to Arkansas.
Wow. Now tell me, how was that? Going from the Navy, going to being in service, and then being discharged. What was that like?
Well, Matt, it was a change because when you get into the regimen of Navy life, and then you of course don't come back into civilian life,
right?
It's hard to make the adjustment because you're keyed up, you're tense, because you never know, right, when you're in the Navy and what's going to happen
right.
next.
General quarters.
Oh yes, yes. This was something that we lived with. And I was in the Navy a total time of 2 years, 9 months, and 16 days. And spent all the time aboard the Hornet in my active war career.
Wow, unbelievable. Now tell me, how was chow aboard ship?
Well, it was good, except the eggs were powdered eggs. And if you have never tried to eat a powdered egg, your nose will tell you don't do it.
Oh, really? Because
they didn't have a very good odor. So the food generally was good. We had good substantial food, but breakfast was not my forte because of those powdered eggs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Now tell me about your funniest moment aboard ship, your fondest memory.
My fondest memory. Okay. We were in condition 1 easy, which is a condition that the ship is put in when the enemy are in the area, but not right on you. And this actually happened. We were under attack by the kamikazes, But we were outside the zone where they were supposed to come in. So one come in on a radar, and we were operating in this condition 1-easy, and his plane flew over, and we were surprised because he came in on our radar. When he came in, we were in condition. They gave us sandwiches, bologna sandwiches, and coffee, because you couldn't go down in the chow line. So anyway, they gave this to eat, and while we were eating, this plane flew over, and the gunner on the 40mm quads, he got so excited he pulled the breech of the shells, threw them over the side, and put the sandwich in the breech. So that was told the next day by I didn't see it, but the captain told us the next day. He said, "This is what happened."
Oh, wow.
So even in war, there's humor.
Yeah.
You see?
Wow. Wow. Now, your station during general quarters.
Okay, my station was directly adjacent to the briefing room,
Okay.
and the Marines they were operating the 20mm cannon that ringed the flight deck of the Hornet,
Right.
all the way around. And I was a backup gunner, just in case he was hit. And I just told him to stay alive.
Yep.
And he did.
Good. Now, how about officers aboard ship? How were the officers?
Didn't have a whole lot of contact with them. They sort of, they were supervisory. We just did our job and did what we had to do.
Yeah.
I had no trouble with them. I wasn't expecting any trouble, but they were fine. I respect them because they'd earned the right to become officers. And I did my job, and they did their job.
Fantastic. Sir, I cannot thank you enough.
Okay, Matt, we thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay.